Hey everyone, this is Alan from BMW Durham, back again with another video. We have another new arrival. It's our first 2023 BMW 230i xDrive Coupe in Black Sapphire Metallic. Alright, so this is our first 2023 230i. So let me just press unlock because I want to just see what the headlights look like when they come on. And guess what? They look exactly like the M240i headlights. Let me just walk all the way around this car before we take a look at all the details. But man, I really actually think this is a great value proposition for a vehicle if you're looking for a coupe and maybe you don't want to spend all the money, or maybe you don't necessarily need all the power, but they've done a great job of bringing this car over with a 4-cylinder engine and making it not look much different than the 6-cylinder, which is pretty awesome. But now that I've walked all the way around, sorry for the tight quarters, let's take a closer look at this vehicle. Alright, so obviously I have a M240i in this G42 chassis, so I'm kind of just like, wow, this car looks a lot like my car, and my car is not an M car. This is definitely even less of an M car, but it has a lot of styling cues which are amazing. So to give you an example of what I'm talking about, right off the bat, this car has the same power dome as the M240i and as the new G87 M2. So this is the first time I think BMW has put a power dome on a vehicle that has a 4-cylinder engine. Next, we've got that one-piece kidney grille that is active. So even on the 230, these shutters are active, which is pretty awesome. And then, look at this. So if I click on the unlock button, so we do get the same headlight animation as we do on the M240i. But take a look at this. So it not only is it the exact same headlight, but this is also the shadow line headlight. So adaptive LEDs, individual shadow line. That's awesome. And we have black exterior content. So everything is blacked out. And I mean, these wouldn't be cerium gray anyways because this is not the M Performance model. But in terms of all of this stuff, this pretty well looks exactly like how it does on my car. This one's of course Black Sapphire Metallic, and we do still have the sensors, the same little type of front lip thing at the bottom here as well, which looks really good. And overall, I'm pretty impressed with the fact that they left all this stuff the way it is. Now, if we come around and look at the wheels, so this is really interesting. So we have the 18-inch double spoke 848M wheels in bicolor burnished, but we do have red M Sport brakes. So right away, this really dresses up the car, and I think this actually looks like a really nice wheel. But right away, you cannot tell that this is not an M240i until you look here and you see that there is no M badge on the fender. However, that's something that's specific to our market, not all the markets. So if you go to the US, apparently they don't have that. But the rocker panel, the line that's here, and the line that's at the bottom of the door and at the top of the door, that all is exactly the same as the M240i. Now the M240i can get the over fenders, which I call the 1-inch wide body. And this one also, of course, does not have the M wing mirrors, which good, it shouldn't have it anyways, and technically neither should my car, but that's a differentiating feature there. We've got the same type of door handles that do have the comfort access, so you can touch on the inside to unlock, touch the outside lines to lock the car. And if we come around to the back, so we have body colored spoiler instead of none, which is interesting. And if I get those tail lights on there, so tail lights are exactly the same. Now the xDrive badge, the 230i badge, okay, so those are in chrome instead of cerium gray, which makes absolute sense. Rear view camera looks to be in the exact same spot. And then at the bottom, So we do actually have a slightly different bumper because we don't have the freeform exhaust, but we have these circular exhausts, which look kind of like the new 330 tips. We've got the diffuser in the center, and then we've got the other exhaust. So it's still a dual exhaust, but it's not a freeform shape. I'm not opposed to this design at all, but if you are trying to fit 4 tips in there, it's not going to fit in there because you don't have as big of an opening as you do on the M240i. Now if I stand up and let's open the trunk. So if I take a look in here, this should be identical to my 2023 M240i, which is slightly different than my 2022. So here we have a grocery bag hanger. We have toolkit over here in this netted area. We've got some carpeted floor mats here. We've got some release levers here to fold down the seats in a 60-40 split. There's no 12-volt plug, and there's no secondary hanger where this spot has a place to put a hanger. And it is all manual, which is how it should be. Handles on each side so that you can close this without touching the exterior of the vehicle. Now if I approach from the passenger side, so there's a light on the door handle, which is nice, so you can see it at night. And if I open up that, so look at this. We have the Tacora red inside of here with the same type of patterns as the M240i, and with the M Illuminated highlighters, which is also pretty awesome because that's something that the M240i gets and the M2 gets. We have aluminum M door sills, which are identical to the ones in my car. And this one seems to have Tacora red Vernasca leather. But historically, from the last 2022 M240i, there's no drift knee pads, which is understandable. And if I move this to the front by pulling this out over the shoulder, the seat will come forward, giving us space to access the second row. And in the back seating area, this is pretty well identical to my car, except it's red. There's an armrest in the center, pass-through through the center, 2 headrests can flip up, and there's only 2 seats in the back. And there are lower anchors and tethers for child safety seats and a little tray there. And just like my car, we have some rear climate controls here, but they've taken away the 2 USB Type-C charging ports that were there, but they still have the vents underneath the seats, and you still have that pattern that carries on onto the inside door panel, just like so. So that is pretty well the same as my car. Now if I put that back, the seat will go back to its previous position. I like that the armrest is the same color as the seats. And inside of here, we do have the high gloss black trim, but because it's iDrive 8, you actually get the illuminated highlighters on the dash here as well, with this interesting trim that's just there for iDrive 8 specifically. And then we've got the M Sport steering wheel. Let's go take a look on the other side. All right, so if we approach from the driver's side, it feels a lot like my car in terms of opening the door. So we do have memory buttons, unlock, lock, door handle, M Illuminated highlighters, window controls, side mirror controls, tailgate release down there as well. And over here on the driver's side, so yes, these are the Vernasca seats because you do have also the side bolsters along with the lumbar support, and again, M aluminum door sill. That looks really nice. And over here with iDrive 8, the intro screen is exactly the same as the M240i, and we also have the lighting controls here. But look at that, the storage compartment is completely gone, which I did have in my 2022, and my 2022 did have Vernasca, so that's interesting. Signal stock over here, and cruise control, heated steering wheel, radio controls, paddles, wiper stock over there. And I'm pretty sure this iDrive 8 is much like the one that is in the M240i as well. Next thing I want to do is let's pop the hood and take a look at what is underneath there. So 2 pulls, 1, 2. It's going over to the front. So pulling twice alleviates us from having to find anything underneath here. We just simply lift it up. And you'll notice it's held up by these pneumatic prop rods. There's no manual prop rod, just as every BMW has. And this is the B48 2-liter inline-4 twin power turbo with 255 horsepower, 295 foot-pounds of torque, so much like the 330 motor. And then we have positive battery terminal, negative battery terminal, washer fluid, but overall looks really good. And I mean, there's still some more space because there's less cylinders, of course, but I like how that engine cover looks, and overall it looks really nice under here. Alright, so we don't have a lot of gas, but we're going to try this anyways. Let's try a remote engine start, cold start. So this is the key. It looks exactly like my key with the M colors because it does have the M Sport package. So 1, 2, 3, let's see what happens. Alright, so as I figured, we don't have enough gas to do remote engine start, but I tried. Alright, so before we conclude the video, I'm just going to walk around the entire car one more time so you guys can get another chance to see what this vehicle looks like. And I have to say I'm pretty happy that this looks almost exactly like an M240i, but as I said, it's such a great value proposition. If you really like the look of the M240i, but you're not really looking to spend so much money, or you're not really interested in getting the B58 with all that power, because I mean, it is kind of ridiculous and it's not really for everybody, and especially with the gas prices, maybe you're looking for an option that won't consume as much fuel. Well, here it is. This is the 4-cylinder version of the new 2 Series, and I think they've done an excellent job by retaining the overall design of the vehicle, and I'm sure it'll drive great just like the 330s drive great, and there's no lack of power. I mean, in 295 foot-pounds of underrated torque, that's a lot to work with. It's just that the B58 gives you just so much more and has way more potential. But again, our brand is about an individual mobility, and we give you the option to choose the series, choose the design, choose the motor, and choose whatever else you want. So there it is. All right, everyone, so that was my tour of this beautiful 2023 230i xDrive Coupe in Black Sapphire Metallic on Tacora Red. I think this is actually such an awesome car. If I hadn't already tasted the B58, I might have given it a chance, but I'm spoiled now. If you like the car, if you like the video, if you like me, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching.